Okay.
all that good jazz. So.
Okay. Good morning. For the record, my name is Robert Thompson. I serve as the Administrator for the Division of Welfare and Supportive Services under the umbrella of the Department of Health and Human Services. This is the public workshop to review and take comment on the Child Support Guideline Committee's most recent recommended updates to the Child Support Guidelines as drafted in R139-23. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the hard work, time, and effort of the Child Support Guidelines Committee in collaboration with the Division of Welfare and Supportive Services, Child Support Policy staff. I recognize that updating the guidelines is an ongoing and difficult process in which the committee considers complex information from several sources, including public comment, and from that makes recommendations. The Division of Welfare and Supportive Services has thoroughly reviewed the recommendations. Kirsten Gallagher, Chief of the Child Support Enforcement Program for the Division of Welfare and Supportive Services, will present a brief synopsis to provide an overview of the proposed changes being considered. I'll go over a few housekeeping items first. If you're on the phone, please keep your line muted until it is your turn to speak. If you must accept another call, please do not place this on hold. Rather, hang up and call back in when you're able to join. This meeting is being recorded and will be available on the Division's website shortly after the conclusion of the workshop. We will be accepting public comment in person here in Las Vegas and on the phone as well as in writing. The workshop has been scheduled for 2 hours and public comment is limited to a 3-minute window. We have set a deadline of June 20th, 2024 for the receipt of written comments to allow us time for full consideration. Item 2 on the agenda is for general public comment. No action may be taken upon a matter raised until the matter has been specifically added to the agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. I will ask that all speakers, please state and spell your name clearly for the record. Is there anyone in Las Vegas, in the South, that would like to come to the table and make public comment? We have no one in the South. Is there anyone on the phone or Zoom who would like to offer public comment?
Thank you. If you would like to participate in public comment, please press *9 now to take your place in the queue. Caller with the last 3 digits of 819, I can see you're unmuted. Please go ahead.
Yes, this is Kimberly Surratt, Chair of the Child Support Commission.
I appreciate the comments and the statement about the hard work that we put into this. I'm extremely disappointed that DWSS has decided to act as a legislative body and make their own changes to the suggestions made by the committee. It's inappropriate, and it is legislative action. There are changes that we requested to be made for very specific reasons based on knowledge and experience, especially in private cases that DWSS does not have. I'm extremely angry that the public comment that we took in, which significantly had to do with joint physical custody, was not taken into consideration, and DWSS has decided to do their own actions within these edits. There was no input given by any legal counsel, especially private legal counsel, as to what edits to accept from LCB. And I don't know to what extent LCB is to blame for some of the mistakes that were made versus DWSS, but it is discouraging that after so much work and effort and public comment and input from many parties and entities other than DWSS, that they would go rogue and do their own actions. Again, I'm disappointed, and I seek that you please consider some of the additional edits that were left out. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you recently just joined us and you wanted to participate in public comment, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, you have no more callers at this time.
Thank you. I will now turn it over to Kirsten Gallagher to summarize the changes.
Good morning. I'm Kirsten Gallagher, for the record, Chief of the Child Support Enforcement Program for the Division of Welfare and Supportive Services. I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for being here and giving us the opportunity to hear your concerns and comments on the draft regulations. The full document I'll be summarizing is available here in the room. It was also included in the notice and is on the division's website. If there's anyone who did not receive a copy and would like one, please make sure that you send an email into the committee requesting one. The proposed changes will revise Chapter 425 of the Nevada Administrative Code and are being proposed in accordance with NRS 425.620. The proposed changes to NAC 425 include the following. This regulation prescribes the amounts included in a total child support obligation, clarifies certain terminology related to child support obligations, prescribes the manner of calculating a total child support obligation under certain circumstances, defines the term public assistance, revises dates the termination of a child support obligations, and providing other matters properly relating thereto. Requires courts to determine the total child support obligation by combining the base child support obligation with other amounts, makes various changes to distinguish between a total child support obligation and a base child support obligation, requires courts to make certain findings when making an equitable division of the cost of child care between the parties to a child support proceeding, including a finding concerning whether either party has elected to forego or limit employment in order to care for the child, clarifies that such an election does not limit the ability of the court to determine that the obligor is underemployed or unemployed without good cause and impute income to the obligor, requires courts to make an equitable division of the medical support for a child between the parties to a child support proceeding, makes certain clarifications concerning income that qualifies as part of the gross income of a party, requires the obligee to certify that he or she is not receiving cash assistance through temporary assistance for needy families, requires a court to calculate the total child support obligation of each party where each party has primary physical custody of at least one but not all of the children, defines public assistance to have a definition prescribed in existing law which excludes the Children's Health Insurance Program, and provides that a child support obligation terminates on the first day of the month immediately following the month the child reaches 18 years of age, or if the child is still in high school, when the child graduates from high school or reaches 19 years of age, whichever comes first.
Thank you. Item 4 on the agenda is for general public comment. No action may be taken upon a matter raised until the matter has been specifically added to the agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. I will ask all caller speakers to please state and spell your name clearly for the record. There is no one in the South to come to the table. Is there anyone on the phone or Zoom who would like to offer public comment?
If you would like to participate in public comment, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Chair, you have no callers wishing to participate in public comment at this time.
Thank you. As there is no more general public testimony, I would like to thank those who were in attendance today for their input on the draft regulations today. I pronounce this public hearing closed, and thank you all for attending.